Just recently, 2 draws for World Cups were held. The FIFA Men's World Cup draw was held in Washington, D.C., hosted by supermodel Heidi Klum and movie star Kevin Hart, where, of course, the big talking point was Donald Trump being awarded the first ever FIFA Peace Prize, which is the equivalent of, in 2023, when Wayne Carey was awarded Feminist of the Year. But you may have also missed that week the Rugby Men's World Cup draw was held in an empty shed where the decorative theme was leftover wrapping paper after a toddler's birthday party. The most disturbing moment of the Rugby World Cup draw was the realisation that Australia is not even in the top tier of rugby anymore. We were in pot 2. Now, I know that the Wallabies used to be not only good at rugby, but the best. We won 2 World Cups during the 1990s, but since then, we have steadily declined to the point of irrelevance. The Wallabies are the Star Wars of world sport. Now, I was so dismayed, I actually looked into it, and as far as I can tell, there are 3 main reasons as to why Australia now sucks at rugby. Now, I fully concede, as a Victorian, I am not the leading expert on rugby. Look, I know the basics. I know you can't throw the ball forwards, a try is worth 5 points, and the best part of any game is when the referee turns into a passive-aggressive kindergarten teacher.
You ever talk to me and shout to me like that again, and you will be in the stand.
Ben, I can talk to my players.
Stand by, get a dressing down for the referee.
When I give a decision, you don't tap anybody around the head, you get up, you respect them, and you get on with the game. Is that clear? Yeah. Thank you. Off you go. 2 captains, please.
I don't think we've met before, but I'm the referee on this field, not you. Stick to your job and I will do mine. If I hear you shouting for anything again, I'm going to be penalising you. This is not soccer. Is that clear? Back you go and get on with the game.
So why do the Wallabies suck now? Reason 1, we never adapted to the professional game. A lot of you might not even know this, but until 1995, all rugby union players had to do it for free. It's sort of the reason rugby league exists. In 1895, some working class rugby players wanted to not have to choose between playing the sport they loved and feeding their family, and thus created their own professional league, meaning there was always a class divide. You know, with the blue-collar commoners playing league and the white-collar private school types enjoying rugby union as a hobby while their banking shares earned them coin. In 1995, the RFB declared amateurism to be over, and just a few years after that, the Wallabies began their decline. They failed to properly invest in grassroots rugby, which we'll dwell on more in a sec, or secure decent broadcasting deals. You know, things that you actually need to do if you want to run a decent sports business. It was like watching an aristocrat have to suddenly attempt to survive in the real world.
I'm in way over my head.
Reason 2. No grassroots. Australians love sport. We love watching it, but we also love playing it. And we have many, many options to choose from. The highest participation sports in Australia are basketball and soccer, which is pretty much why we have 15 Australians in the NBA, 9 in the WNBA, and we have 12 in the top 5 men's European football leagues and about 30 in the top women's leagues. According to data, there are only 346 rugby clubs in all of Australia, which is almost equal to the amount of Aussie rules clubs in Victoria alone. You can't expect Australians to dominate at rugby when we have little to no opportunity to play it when we're kids. It's why we'll never defeat Norway at skiing, we're never going to beat Japan at judo, and we're never going to beat Russia at rigging elections. It's just not going to happen. Which spirals into reason number 3. We just don't care as much as other countries. New Zealanders love rugby. It's their number 1 sport. They are obsessed with it. The last All Blacks game outrated per capita the AFL and NRL grand finals. They love it, and that's fine. But when we play them in the Bledisloe Cup, it is New Zealand's greatest athletes against Australia's best athletes who happen to go to certain private schools in Sydney or Brisbane who weren't poached by other sports. It's hardly fair. It's the number 1 sport in South Africa, same for most Pacific Island nations, and it's in the top 3 for UK, France, Italy, and Ireland. But in Australia, it barely makes the top 10. So it's actually quite unfair of us to expect the Wallabies to compete at the highest level when they're drawing from a depleted pool of talent in front of tiny TV audiences against the best athletes that these other countries have to offer. So what's the solution? Well, believe it or not, Australia has a great opportunity to usher in a golden age of rugby here in this country. In 2027, we are going to host the Rugby Men's World Cup. And for the first time in our nation's history, we are massive underdogs. So if the Wallabies can make a decent run of this tournament and maybe even knock off a New Zealand or a South Africa, that will absolutely unite the Australian sporting public and rekindle our love with the game of rugby union. Yeah, it's fickle and bandwagony, but that's the reality we live in. Does anyone watch the swimming outside of the Olympics? Hell no. Until Sam Kerr came along, most Australians didn't even know that the Matildas existed, and now they are our highest drawing national sporting team. Hell, Australians love a bandwagon so much. In 1983, for a few days, we even cared about sailing. But if the Wallabies don't take advantage of this opportunity to unite the country in their love of rugby league, you know, we're all just going to say to them,
this is what happened and you're going to be penalised for it now. Discipline all your players. That's it. Get the message out. This is your problem now. Sort it.
And that's why I think we suck at rugby. If you've got any better ideas, please let me know in the comments. As I said, I'm a Victorian, so I'm happy to learn and be educated. If you've enjoyed it, like, subscribe, all the things that YouTubers do, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for watching.